You know what? I don't know what the is going on here anymore. Look, I have a dog. What's a language you'd like to learn? I don't know, probably English. I don't know. Does anybody remember the girl group Dream? No. Wait, is that her name? Forgettable. Running a country is very stressful. I was about to say special. What's wrong with me? Just because you had turned a year older doesn't mean you just get your ass eaten. None of this is funny. It's not that funny. Why am I doing this to myself? Oh my god, I have to giggle so bad. It wasn't even that funny. It's so sad how it hurts. I'm crying. Chongus hates it. Come back, honey. It was like silly or whatever. It wasn't that funny. But I can't stop laughing. It was so stupid.
No, actually, definitely did kill himself. We saw a video footage.
Oh my god! I can't stop crying! Hi, honey. It's okay. This isn't something that you just announced, sir. I think Courtney just broke. I know. It was funny. Chongus, what's wrong? Can someone please? I was gonna say, I don't know anymore. Oh, my fart cone. It just encourages retarded behavior. Oh, you guys. I don't think we need to watch some dude with a wine-stained mouth who brushes his hair with a balloon whine and cry about a man he hasn't spoken to in 10 years. It was fine. What was I doing again? Poor kid. It was kind of his fault. I'm drinking my Coors Light. Kiss my husband goodnight. Then I got in my truck. And then I yelled out, "What the?" This ain't your typical honky tonk. It's a really good song. A beep, 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 beep. This is Penelope Show. Do, 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 do. We're doing no. Boop, 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 boop. It's the Penelope Show. That's your song. Thank you. Beep, 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 beep. Do, do, Penelope show. Oh. You couldn't give a about this, could you? Yeah. So what I've gathered from this is that I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh my god. I hated doing that. Hello. All right, try it again. Oh, Penelope's here. She hates being held like that, but she likes being held like this, so. Yeah. You're very cute. Back down? Up or down? Okay. Yeah, you lay down butt to butt. Here, you. Just a little bit. No, not the arm. Penelope, no. I don't know why. I don't know what her deal is, but she is weird. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Babbling, Courtney, Brooke, where everything is chaos. So, I don't know what I wanted to say there, to be honest. I don't know. I went to the store. Or something. I don't know. There's something on my mind, but maybe I'll remember later. So we're gonna say hi. Frank S, hello. Yay, 3 blondes and a black and white dog. They got the proportions close too. With everything, I know. They got Chongus right. Almost. Coloring wise, not so much, but they got Chongus's sizing right. They got Penelope's socks. Getting better. So, hello. Hi, Courtney. Love the thumbnail. Thank you. We can, it just, it was a little, I'm getting used to this whole AI thing, I guess. Oh. Tim F, hello. And AV Tom, hello. NZ guy, how long did your hair take to do? Looks great. 3 seconds. Thank you. South to West, Babbling Brooke. Babbling Courtney Brooke. 0 shits given by Penelope. I know, look at her. She hates it here. She was going to just sleep out in the backyard during the stream. But right as I was like getting ready to hit live, I heard at the back door and I was like, oh my God, I went running, like sprinting. I was Usain Bolt. My dog, my baby. Oh. So there's that. Purple Panther, what's up? Great tits, beautiful tits, American tits. Oh my God. Under the last administration, we've had millions of illegal tits streaming over the border. No more. My God. Okay. Meg Guinevere, hello. It's my favorite part of the day. Hi, Courtney. Hi, everyone. Penelope and Cricket. Yay, my babies. Choo Choo is down here. Choo Choo, she's right here. Hi. Do you want to come say hi? No. It's not Gino. Tired of the trans people and their bullshit. Well, thank you for sharing that. I saw what was going on Twitter. Yikes. Who's surprised? Not me. Mm-mm. I don't know. I'm having a hard time deciding which one is a CIA plant and which one is like some just rage-fueled monster on the wrong hormones. That's like, I saw this thing in the news, and so I'm gonna do a fun thing. Shut up. You're lame. Like no one likes you. Like no one thinks that you're cool. When people think you're cool are like severely unstable. That's what you want. Okay. Down. Boo! But you guys, we still haven't gotten to the Taylor business confession. We haven't made it past page 28 in the Laura Loomer deposition. We're having a bad time. And it's my fault. I shared your thumbnail with my in-laws. They love it too. Thank you. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Everything's going wrong. Help, 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 help. That was scary. But we're good. Got back to normal. Eat your puppy pile. Yeah, puppy pile. Come here. You need to be part of the pile. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're a nice girl. You're so sweet. She's the sweetest thing on the planet. Look at this thing. She looks dumb. Not a thought in her brain. You say hi? Woo! I'm sweaty. Mm-hmm. That gets longer every time. I don't know what you mean. What gets longer? Hello. What are you doing? Okay. Cricket. She's just standing there, staring. Sorry, out of context. Yeah, I am confused. Jean. Wait, what? Got all the dogs breeding them? Okay, you guys are like saying stuff. See, this is why people can't interact with the chat because I don't even know what any of this means. What? Those you want to be. I feel that song stuck in my head for like 3 weeks. It needs to stop. What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ooh, Saw's over here. Super cat Courtney. What is that? What are you talking about? I don't see any super chats here. I don't see anything on the chat. Oh, do you have a problem with Rush? Sorry. Okay, so NZ guy is definitely another plot bot type. Just chatting things that make no sense. We just endure. Nah, not really. Just Getty's voice. Yeah, The other night, someone mentioned that he sings like a wizard, and truer words have never been spoken. Like, yeah, I think that if a wizard were to sing, that's what it would sound like. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm already checked out. Short stream, bye. I'm over it. Ugh. Endure. Okay. Do we need to discuss this? Probably. It is a follow-up. Bye. Have they all been taken over by Plotbot? I feel like we do have some Plotbot adjacent accounts going on in here now. Oh shit! I almost just ooh, don't do that. I almost sent out the link to everybody. Woo. Okay. Let's discuss this real quick. Okay. Cracker Barrel has decided that their logo is they're going back. They're going back to Uncle Herschel and the barrel. Okay. They say, we thank our guests for sharing your voices and love for Cracker Barrel. We said we would listen, and we have. Our new logo is going away, and our old timer will remain. At Cracker Barrel, it's always been and always will be about serving up delicious food, warm welcomes, and the kind of country hospitality that feels like family. As a proud American institution, our 70,000 hardworking employees look forward to welcoming you to our table soon. So, there you have it, everybody. Now everybody wants her fired. The lady, the CEO fired. I mean, not a bad idea, but yeah, there you have it. The logo is the original logo is here to stay. I think with an establishment like Cracker Barrel, like you have to think about traditions first. There's certain, there are certain businesses, a lot of businesses really, that you can like revamp and rebrand and it's going to be fine. But with a place like Cracker Barrel, it was always like traditional Southern cooking, right? It was like you felt like you were at home. It wasn't about the newest and the latest, right? Like it was about like I'm going to this place to have my crappy chicken pot pie. Apparently, that's another thing too. It was like, first of all, don't update any other locations and take the other ones and go back to the old vibe. And then also, fix the menu, because there are people that have been posting videos and stuff about with like rock hard biscuits, and a lot of people talking about the chicken pot pie and how it's disgusting, and like servers have even been like, I wouldn't get that if I were you. That's terrible. I'm sorry, that's terrible. If you are at a restaurant and the server is like, oh, don't do that. Don't order the thing on the menu. You want to order something on the menu? Don't order it. Why is anyone going to go to your restaurant then? If there's like literal menu items that they're like, don't get it. It's bad. That's terrible. So I say, fix the menu, fix the cooks, I guess. But yeah, fix up your menu, make the food edible again. And fix the remodels, make them go back to normal. Cracker Barrel is a place that needs, it's a place of tradition. You can't revamp it and remodel it and rebrand it. You just can't. Sorry. You can do that with like clothing stores, right? That's the up to the minute. What's trending, right? Like not you can't do that with like something that with a place that is meant to be traditional and like family. But honestly, it's very fake, old-fashioned on the inside now, and it's been that way for a while before the rebranding. It's too franchised. And see, there you go. Like, where was the outrage when all that happened, right? When all that the fake old fashioned type, because you can modernize or at least like update, like try to keep things from falling apart without completely changing. Like you don't have to. I don't know. I mean, at this point, I say let people smoke inside at Cracker Barrel. Make it really feel like it's the 1700s again. Why not? It's like getting rid of Jack in the Box. They got rid of him and blew him up. Oh no! But then they brought him back. Oh, I had no idea. I had no idea that happened. I remember hearing that, like, I think this was during the Super Bowl. I think Duolingo was like doing all this weird stuff on social media where they were trying to show that like the owl died and all this. It was so bizarre. But I was like, if they get rid of the owl, I think that people are going to be like annoyed, which is weird because it's just a language learning app. But like, I don't know. Hold on a second. The dogs are dogging. Hey, I want your money. Give me your money. Super chat. Super chat. Give me all your money. 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 I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money.
I wish somebody were funding me. I'm poor.
Pipe smoke only. I don't know. I mean, you're the only one here. Okay, well, I don't know about her. I say, look, yeah, like I said, just bring back all the tradition of a place that is supposed to feel like tradition. Whatever the hell tradition means. Oh, they also killed the Planters Peanuts man, but then brought him back because the customer. You gotta like, especially with social media, you like because back in my day, I don't even know how people used to actually voice their complaints, right? I don't know. You would just randomly hear in the media that people were complaining somewhere about something. I was like, what do they do? Do they like write them letters? Like what? I don't understand how people go about this. And they do write letters. How do they find the address? It's just a whole thing. I still don't know. But now with social media, like everybody and their mother will complain to you about any decision that you make. So you have to choose wisely. And I think what it sounds like is people don't like change. I mean, that's one thing. People don't like change. So if you want to change, you got to make sure that change is the right change. And getting rid of your logo, getting rid of the peanut guy. Like, what's my Duolingo app supposed to look like if you get rid of the owl? Getting rid of Mr. Peanut. Well, it's a peanut brand. Why would you do that? Would you get rid of the Monopoly guy on the board? That sounds crazy. Where's he gonna go? I mean, if you think about like, especially if it's like a person, so you're really like, or just at least like a character of sorts. Like, well, but I was friends with them. Airbnb, they just have that fake A or whatever. You're not gonna be friends with that character. X got rid of the bird. That's because it's not Twitter anymore. People still call Twitter Twitter. That's how little people like change. I still call it Twitter because it's Twitter to me. Like, to be honest, Douglas, X never had a bird. So what you're saying is actually kind of incorrect, right? X never had a bird because, or did, no, it didn't. The bird went away when it became X. And people still call it Twitter and want that bird. But Elon doesn't care. Now, Yeah, people don't like change. They're going to make sure that you're aware when they don't like change. So if you want to do any type of change in your business, what you're going to have to do is take into consideration the type of online backlash you're going to receive, because you're going to get it. So congratulations, Cracker Barrel. What a wild ride that was. Didn't last long. Good for them. Taylor Swift got engaged, everybody. Woo! Did you hear that? So if you don't believe me here, here's her ring. Here he is. People seem to think like, I saw a little bit of discourse because I was trying to find this on Reddit, like the more unhinged posts on Reddit, and honestly, I think a lot of them got taken down. But there was one person that I saw that was like, I don't think this is the real engagement. I don't think this is when it actually happened, and we're just getting like a fake engagement. And all I could think was, are you fucking serious? You genuinely think that Travis Kelce, a big dumb football player, which I don't mean that in like a mean way, but he's a fucking man. He's a man. And you genuinely think that he thought of all these different flowers and the flower placement and da da da, and he's going to tell her, okay, you need to dress this way and I'm going to dress this way. No. No, they had their own special. He actually proposed in one setting, okay, and then she was like, "Excellent, I'm gonna plan the photo shoot." Like he just randomly had a photographer around. I've seen clips of his reality dating show. It's not offensive to call him dumb. Perfect. Yeah, he's just like honestly. Like somebody, what was it? I can't remember what it was. They privatized that fucking Reddit because people were saying unhinged things, and then other people were like, "Oh my god, what is wrong with you?" And we'll touch base on one of them that thankfully was screenshot. But they were saying that like she was with like a manic pixie boy before this, and then she got out of that toxic relationship and then ended up with her big dumb doofus, and now she's living happily ever after. And I was like, exactly, you just want your doofus. You that's all you want. You just want your doofus. He's a good doofus, and I feel that you will always find that in white NFL players. I do have to specify it's going to be white. The white NFL players are going to be your like perfect doofus dream guy. Yeah, totally planned photo shoot. That's the thing. Like you think he planned all that on his own to surprise her with an engagement for this? No. What is wrong with all of you? Like, no, of course they got engaged, and then she planned an engagement photo shoot. These weren't even taken the same day that she posted them, which was yesterday. These, I'm sure, were taken last week, at least, if not a while ago. But granted, I was going to say, because, like with photographers, there's like editing and all that kind of stuff. But like, I mean, she's a billionaire. She can easily get a photographer to like speed up the editing process for her. However, like, yeah, he proposed to her probably at the beginning of August. She had to hire a photographer. She had to hire a designer for this perfect set. She needed to get her stylist to help her pick out the perfect outfit, and all of this stuff. Then they took the photos, and then the photographer had to edit all of them. And like yesterday was when she received them, or like the night before was when she received the photos. So then she went and posted it the next day. If chicks didn't like doofuses, I'd still be a virgin. Yeah, we love a good doofus. Just, you know, we're just here for a good time. All right. Um, Wait, MA is sharing something important. That's pretty normal, though. I mean, I think at least that's what my friends that have gotten married did. They had separate photo shoots for the engagement announcements. Yeah. And they do one for like a save the date and blah, 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 blah. It might be like in the same. The engagement photo shoot might be the same as the save the date. I don't know. I've never been married nor rich enough for multiple photo shoots. Okay. But what I do know is that Taylor Swift is a billionaire and hired a professional photographer. This wasn't taken on his iPhone. Okay. He didn't, these photos weren't a surprise to her. It has already happened probably about a month ago. Because again, he proposed and then she planned everything out for a photo shoot. Yeah, they called and told their families and BFFs immediately, but then when they announced it to everyone else, they had done fancy photos like that. Well, yeah. It's so bizarre. Like, oh man, these people, like, it's just so funny how, like, a lot of Swifties have felt like they were invested in her personal life. Like, they actually knew everything about her personal life. Like, always looking for the Easter eggs in her music videos, listening for Easter eggs in their songs, blah, 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 like all this stuff. And there's been this whole conspiracy about her actually being gay and like the different beards that she had and what they represented and the girls that she was actually dating behind the scenes and and like there were certain songs that they would say like this has to be about this girl because she talks about I don't know, this, that, and the other thing. And remember that one time when they posted on Instagram about this, that, and the other thing. And so like that links up with this particular song and like. So we're going to get into that in a second, but hold on. Okay. I've seen engagement videos that were 100% real and surprised, but they did not look like some kind of music video set like that at all. Yeah, I was at an engagement like that. I went to a friend was getting baptized in a river, and a big old group of us were out there to witness them getting baptized. So there were two friends, man and woman, and they had been dating for like a long time since they were like 16, and now they were like in their 20s, and they wanted to get baptized in a river together. And right after the baptism, old dude got on his knee and proposed, and I took a couple of pictures of it, and I thankfully I had a camera with me because this was like 2003. Like nobody had cell phones, okay? Like so I had a camera with me. I took pictures of the proposal and was accidentally the photographer for that, and it did not look like that because it was on a disposable camera and it was taken by me, and I was like 17 at the time. So now, that's like a thing, but like you can't look at those particular photos that we were looking at and tell me, oh yeah, that was all just like spur of the moment. I just feel so let down because I thought that she shared every intimate detail of her life with us. No. Nope. She didn't. But like, so now there's the queer Swifties. Yeah, the queer Swifties are crazy. The Gaylers, yeah, they had all these speculations that like that video, like you need to calm down. That was her little gay anthem, right? And I guess she had bisexual flag colors in her hair at some point. I can't remember if it was in the video or not, but she did that, and like I don't know, other dumb things or whatever. There were always hints that she was bisexual. And I didn't realize that people were still assuming all this stuff about her, but they are. So look at this post. This is so unhinged. I'm scared. I'm genuinely scared watching how serious Taylor and Travis are becoming. Sometimes I wonder, what if they actually get married? What if she's really not queer at all? Hey, by the way, I just want you to know, if you're bisexual and you marry somebody of the opposite sex, like you can still be bisexual. Like that's just, you just decided to also be monogamous. But also, like your theory about her being queer, it's just insane because she never publicly said that she was queer, nor has she ever publicly dated a woman. Like so that's your problem. It feels like everything I believed about her might collapse overnight. If this is real and not some PR game, I honestly think I could end up in a hospital or worse. I don't know if I'd ever be able to listen to her songs the same way again. Her happiness looks so different from what I imagined, and she's truly content going to his family's events and showing up to TEU, whatever that is, just for him. I don't know how to cope with the idea that maybe I never knew her at all. Couple of things here. If you've never met in person, you don't know her at all. But also, if you don't speak to each other privately, okay, via text message, phone calls, whatever, you don't know her. If you have never hung out with her, like outside of like a meet and greet type thing, no, you don't know her. You don't know her. You don't know her. This idea that you're like, oh my God, if she actually wants to marry this guy, if she actually wants, then I might end up in the hospital. Why? This can't be real. You can't be real. You can't be real. There's, please, it's so sad. Why are we like this? Well, we, not us, right? The royal we, I guess. But why do these people do this to themselves and to the internet? To be honest, I feel a little bit harassed right now, but don't tell the internet the truth. These people should be put in asylums. There's something very wrong about this, because I know what it's like to not be in a great space mentally, and you find a form of entertainment, usually music, that gets you through a really rough time. It happens all the time. Many people experience it. I've experienced it on multiple occasions. I I never had that much of an emotional attachment to any of the musicians' personal lives. Taylor Hanson got married, and I was like, oh, that sucks. Moving on. Brendan Urie got married. I was like, man, that sucks. Moving on. And I just thought, all right, cool. This is a guy that I've never met before in my life. I had a big old celebrity crush on him, and he's living a personal life and has no idea who I am. Cool. Good for him. What are we going to do? Like, what? What? Why would you care that much about something that, a choice that a stranger made? I bet Russell Hall wrote that poem. That chick got parasocial on Taylor Swift. But the sad thing is that like parasocial relationships are usually two-way streets. Like the reason why people start finding themselves connected to like an internet personality usually is because there's like a level where there's actually like a connection. Taylor Swift is making music and living her best life. She's doing her own thing. She's making billions off of these severely unstable folks. She doesn't care about who you people are. No, I have seen her actually connect with some of her fans. Like she's like recognized different people in the audience before. Like there was that one where there was a cancer patient, like one of her fans was a cancer patient, and like during the show, she like stopped and took her hat off and put it on the girl's head, and it was a very cute little moment. And it was partially because like she had already interacted with this girl before, and she knew like the struggle that she was going through, and she wanted to do something nice for her. So it's not like it doesn't happen at all, but she's at like this level. I'm gonna tell you right now, this person never met her before. I don't think this person ever met her before. I think that this person is obsessed with online forums and probably creates a lot of fanfic, but like creating these ideas in her head with other unstable people about what Taylor Swift means to them, and has gotten very carried away with it. This is very sad and very upsetting. I feel sad for her. Oh, hello. Okay, see you later. Hi. Come here. Come here. Whoa. Hi, you're a sweet girl. You're very sweet. Oh, you're very sweet. It's chunka chunka toot 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 toot. Ugh. Wait, bullseyes in Chungus's spot? What does that mean? Bullseyes in Chungus's spot. Do you mean Penelope? That's Penelope. She has a spot. Boop. Chungus's spot? Are you sleeping? Courtney, wait, what? Is like your dog pictures today on Twitter. What? What? I understand nothing today, apparently. Jeepers. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for clearing that up, Saw. Chungus is usually the floaty dog. I don't understand what you mean by Chungus, a bullseye in Chungus's spot. Oh, you're saying that Penelope is in Chungus's spot. Oh, sheesh. That's wow. Look, I just need you to understand something. I'm an idiot. This is not bullseye. This is Penelope. This is a Penelope show. Beep, 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 beep. Boop, 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 boop. It's the Penelope show. Yeah, that's her bullseye. I didn't know that's what you called her. Hi, you're pretty. Oh, you're so pretty. Dog pitchers are better than dog catchers. You're a comedian? I don't know. Yeah, people are writing in code today. I don't understand anything. Okay, I thought it was me because I'm kind of dumb. Yeah, stop calling Penelope bullseye. That threw me off the most. I was like, bullseye. I was like, is there a bullseye in a spot in Frank is correcting everyone's spelling and grammar today. Very what's the word? Very cryptically. It's the Penelope Show. So there's that, you guys. Taylor Swift is getting married. I'm happy for her. I think that it's great. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the Swifties were like, "Oh my gosh, she's getting married too. I should get married too. Oh my god!" And then she gets pregnant. Oh my god, she's pregnant. I should get pregnant. And then we have like a whole friggin' like baby boom of Swifty babies. It'll be generation Swifties. And it might get a little chaotic. Do you think they go through with it? Yeah, I think so. I think so. Because even if it's just a PR stunt, the PR stunt is also like getting married and staying married. It happens all the time. Like the thing is, like, how many PR stunts have we seen in the past that end up being like marriages and stuff, right? I think it might last. I hope it does. I think they're cute. I think they're cute. They look like they're happy together. I mean, and Travis Kelce, like is he like planning on retiring? I think there's something like this is probably like his last season. He might have another one in him, but really like he's on his way out. Like maybe he's just ready to be a husband and a dad. And the thing is, like, he and his brother are like really just like your typical Midwest boys. So I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to just get married and be a dad with his billionaire wife. I think that's cute. Will she ever settle down though? I think so, because I think also for her, deep down, she's also like wanting a traditional life. You know? I think she'll always work to a degree, but I think that cause I mean, dude, she did her Eras tour, right? So like she did where she was doing like hours and hours of like costume changes and like, oh, now we're doing this album and this album and this album and all that stuff. And I think that really like set her up to to slow down. Like that was like that was the climax of her career. She's established herself also to continue her name in music forever. Christy Mears boobs are here, excuse me. Chest bump to everybody, especially racist Penelope. Do you hear that? That was to you. Yeah, lucky you. She was planning on spending the stream sleeping in the backyard. Well, I thought that's what she wanted to do. Until I went to go hit live, and then I heard tap, 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 tap on the back door, and I flipped out. I don't know who these people are. Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld got married first. I don't know. I don't know who those people are. Who is an actor? Every little mistake her husband makes will become a hit with single feminist tweens. I mean, to be honest, I think that if she's smart and wants her marriage to last, she won't write songs about their relationship. Okay, Haley Steinfeld. Wait, my favorite story about the Kelseys is when an Eagles fan called Travis Kelce forgot, in front of his brother. His brother grabbed the guy's phone and smashed it. Okay, who's this Haley Steinfeld? American actress and singer. Okay, her eyes are very far apart. Well, she's pretty. Okay. I still don't know who the hell she is, though. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know who that is. Josh is the quarterback for the Bills. Oh. Anyway, so Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are getting married. And then. Oh. Oh, wow. There's so much going on right now. My $150 worth of protein powder is on its way. And I got a treat. What did I get? Somebody sent me a treat. Boop, 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 boop. Dog treats? We got cheese and dog treats coming. Doggies, are you excited? You don't seem to understand what any of that means. Haley was in the Transformers spin-off movie Bumblebee. Yeah, that's not. What is an actor? If two homely people like Travis and Taylor can find each other, there's hope for all of us beautiful people. You actually bought all that protein powder? Yes, I am trying to get some meal replacement situations going on here. That coffee does seem to be helping me a lot. So I have the coffee in the morning, then I walk the dogs, and then I have the protein powder. It's going to be like 6 months worth of stuff. Maybe a little bit less, but still. For that price, like that's pretty good. I got raspberry cheesecake. I got birthday cake. I got glazed donut, pumpkin spice. I want to try the shroom coffee. It is from a company called Bulletproof Coffee. I got the one that said it was for energy and focus. It seems like she would marry a more interesting guy. But didn't all of her relationships with like more interesting guys fail? Why would you keep trying that if you're already realizing that like, oh, this is not going to work? I'll go for my Midwest doofus. Plotbot's here. Plotbot, we already have a Plotbot here. Are those the flavors of the protein powder? Yes. She went to Dolesville? Really? I don't know. I think that it's just he's just a Midwest doofus guy. He's just like a guy. He's kind of dumb. I mean, is she like okay, Christopher Shaw, here's the thing. Is she like super interesting to you? I mean, because to me, she seems like she has all the personality of a cardboard box. It doesn't seem like she is like super interesting herself. She writes songs and that's about it. But like, does she seem super cool in interviews and stuff? Like, she just seems like some girl. I suppose. I'm not sure. Well, then, do you even know what you're talking about? Do you? Protein is so flippin' expensive. I'm addicted to Fairlife shakes now. Well, I I just keep eating steak. Steak and protein shakes. I worked out for the first time in a little while recently. And well, this morning I worked out for the first time in a while. Jeez. What an idiot. And so I'm trying to ride this high energy train while I can. Get as much energy, get as much movement in as I possibly can. What's happening? Okay. Courtney, the muscle mommy. Yeah, I wanna get real buff. Like my shoulders are non-existent. What kind of exercises did you do? I don't know. I worked out. I just did like a workout. I don't know. I'm not well versed in that kind of stuff. I just did a workout video. Russell Hall. Ladies get free protein. Wow, your profile picture every time. Blank Space is a good song and video. I'm gonna tell you right now that that album of hers, that one that Blank Space is on, that's actually a pretty good album. And the song, what is it called? It's just called Style. Oof. It's a good one. That's a good song. How's your back feeling today? Better. I'm telling you too, at one point I was like, I had to get on the ground, lay on my back for one of the workouts, and my back was like pop, 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 pop. Does Courtney realize I'm here? Yeah. Do you realize I'm talking? The pressure that gets put on me. I want to go off on a tangent. We'll go off on a tangent. Is she mad? I said sorry for being late. No, I was going off on a tangent. Were you listening? Why does everyone just hate everything that I say and demand that I change the subject for them? I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. Sorry that Taylor Swift is too boring, but I thought it was interesting. It was fun that people were upset that she was getting married. Look at this. There's like a fuzzy in my eye right now. I can't really see very well out of my right eye. What else are we talking about here? Ignore the chat. Happy for Taylor. Hope it lasts. Yeah. Well, yeah, and I just wanted to wrap that up really. Like, okay, she got married. I think it's cool. Happy for her. I'm going to unbookmark these. So we'd never have to talk about Taylor Swift ever again. But I don't know really what else we're going to talk about. I suppose we can watch the Taylor Swift business confession. And see, and then I have to comb through these types of comments. So obviously I'm not going to catch everything. Let's watch our friend real quick.
Sure. And Judge, it sounds like just one witness. We're asking for sequestration, but that may be a moot point.
All right.
It is one witness, Your Honor.
We're off the record.
We're off the record. I'm pretty sure the dogs heard that through my earbud because they both were like, hmm? Did that upset you? My little chunga tutu? Hello? Hi. Oh, you're so cute. You're cute. You're cute. So, all right. So that is our dear friend Taylor Shabusiness. If you don't know anything about her, we love her here. She is in prison for the rest of her life for strangling her lover to and then continuing to make love and then make love to the body and then dismembering it and putting the body parts in different containers for her lover's mother to find. So, oh God, I'm already not like a fan of this video. I haven't watched this video. It just says that it's the Taylor Shabusiness confession, so we could listen to her. All right. But she had fun with that member before she dissed it. All right. His mother found him. Yeah, his mother found his head in a bucket. All right, we're gonna have to. I don't like. I should have watched this first and seen if I could have found something else because I don't like the way this is.
Convicted
Anyway.
killer Taylor Shabusiness tells all.
I sucked his and cut his head off at the same time because the only SC that I would ever be doing would be sucking.
The murderer herself speaking out exclusively to Law and Crime. What led up to the gruesome killing she's now serving time for? How her fascination with serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer first began, and the details of the horrifying
Look at her hair.
with
Oops.
serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer first began, and the
Look at it. Oh my God, that is some like Eileen Warnos hair right there. Woo, girl.
details of the horrifying crime.
I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Sierra Gillespie, and the case we're talking about today, the one of Taylor Shabusiness, is one we've covered at length here on Law and Crime. Our viewers were so intrigued, and honestly, I kind of understand why. The details are so shocking, so unexpected, and honestly unbelievable.
Don't care.
But they're all
Cut to the
true.
interview.
You might know Taylor Shabusiness as the woman who attacked her attorney in open court.
You went off on your attorney, Taylor.
Yeah, that one was
This actually happened more than once.
Woo!
You might also know Taylor as the woman who pointed finger guns at the judge during her trial and also flipped off the same judge during the same trial. You might also know her as the woman who was eventually forced to wear a spit guard for everyone's safety at the same trial. But perhaps what Taylor Shabusiness is most known for is murdering her lover during sex, decapitating his body, and then leaving dismembered body parts across the city.
I don't care about all this. Just tell me about. Just play the
of Green
video.
Bay, Wisconsin.
Play the.
And what may be the most disturbing of all, beyond the fact that Shabusiness sexually assaulted the victim after his head was cut off, is that his own
After.
mother found the victim's head in a bucket beside his severed
We already
penis
covered
at
all
a
this. I
Jolly
just want to
Rancher.
hear the confession. Where's the confession?
That's how she put it. I found my son's head in a bucket. So I'm dumbfounded. Didn't believe her.
Here's what happened. On February 23rd, 2022, dispatch in Green Bay, Wisconsin gets a
There's not a lot of Taylor Shabusiness confession in here.
what I should have done, you know.
record our phone conversations with her. So here's the first question. At the time of her arrest, was she thinking of going on the run?
I mean, that's definitely what I should have done, you know. That's definitely something that, like, any right-minded person would have done. That's definitely something that you could have done. But what I did, I stayed in town. I stayed in town, and I was chopping it up with my roommate.
Shabusiness was pretty straightforward in our
The way that she talks is really funny.
conversations, and she was the same way after her arrest, too. She admitted to all of the gory details in her police interviews. Take a listen.
You two being intimate, having sex.
It was getting there.
It was getting there, okay. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah, it was. And then, I don't know. And then, I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
You guys done something like this in the past?
Not like that.
Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all? The shed like that?
A manual strangulation? Yes.
He likes strangulation? You know?
I don't know.
He does. Yeah.
Where's the body?
The body's there.
The body is there.
It's,
So we're gonna take the head somewhere?
I like that.
You liked it?
Well, you're gonna have fun trying to look for all the organs, so, yeah, they're all dismembered. Yeah.
So you dismembered the body too?
Yeah.
Well, what did you do with the body?
They're in the house.
Somewhere?
They're like,
This Pornhub clip sucks.
Basement, upstairs, downstairs?
in the basement. I was gonna bring them with them. And then, I know I forgot the head. I wanted the head.
Did you bring anything with you?
Yeah, it's in the van.
What?
It's in the van.
Oh.
What is it? I don't know, a foot maybe.
The what?
I think it's a foot.
A foot
leg.
in the van?
A leg maybe. I'm like.
The leg would have been
I'm
heavy.
like, man, this is messy. So then I just left it. I got lazy.
Okay.
I got lazy and that's what I did. So I'm like,
How did you dismember his body?
knives.
With what?
Knives.
Knives.
Just more than one knife?
Four knives.
Kitchen. So I couldn't find mine and I wasn't sharp enough.
You weren't sharp?
No. It was alright. Bread knife.
Oh yeah, barf.
Bread knife?
A bread knife works good.
Really?
I had to use what I used. So like, yeah. I got lazy last night, so.
Jesus, here I'm gonna go grab it real quick. I'll still be listening though.
They're in with all the organs and all the body parts.
And where was that?
In the black bag. It's in the black bag right now.
In the basement?
It's in the basement. They're all in the basement.
Here's what Shabusiness told police at the time. She was having sex with Shad. Then she started to strangle him with a chain. She said even when his face turned purple, she just kept going. After that, she dismembered his body with knives that were taken from his mom's kitchen. After that, she hid the remains around the basement and in a minivan she had been borrowing from one of her friends. Now, those clips that we just played for you were from her police interview in 2022, not long after the murder. But here's what she told Law and Crime just this month. And note, she pre-wrote this description of what happened and she read it out almost like it was a poem or something. Take a listen.
I was on the run in Texas after having my baby taken. I decided to make things right and clear it up north. When I got back, they put my on the bracelet. I went to buy a bag on the low, so I went to my ex who was a Satan disciple, and family, we all Latin kings, so we beefing. We don't with SDs. I gave him $100 for the bag, and the bag was $50. He pocketed the cash. Me and him and another homie all smoked up, and then my homie left, and I went to drop off my ex, and he wanted before I left. So I went into the basement, and he went and pulled out 2 chains. I asked him, where my money at, fool? And he said, I ain't got it. So I took a chain, I put it around his neck, and I asked him again, where my at? He didn't respond. His face turned purple. There was blood coming out of his mouth. So I laid down on the bed and to listen to his heartbeat, and I said, damn, this motherfucker's still beating. I went upstairs to grab a kitchen knife. I went back downstairs, took off his pants. I sucked his cut his head off at the same time, because the only SD that I would ever be doing would be sucking.
All right, we heard this part, all right?
Off and to conceal the crime, I used a nearby shower drain to pour out the blood and put in bags and boxes around the basement to store the body parts.
Concealed the crime?
And plastic bags for the organs. I was covering up his body, and while the people were entering the basement, I would continue to cut him up, and then and I would cover him up, and then when they would leave, I would cut him back up, and then I headed out to the truck, and I started loading up the body parts in there. And then I went back to the apartment I was staying at after chopping it up with my roommate. I went to go get rid of the body. And
with the roommate?
Surrounded the place with their guns out, telling us to get down, get on the floor, and that's why I'm in custody today.
She said chopping it up with the roommate. Did the roommate help? The roommate helped? Where's the roommate?
Shabusiness also gave us some more information about what led up to the murder.
Well, what went down was I had bought a bag of dope. I bought it for $50, but I gave him $100 and he didn't give me my $50 back. And what went down between the whole thing, he was a SD, and then I was
okay.
a Lion King.
Chopping up is slang for talking. Yeah, okay.
I wasn't supposed to be doing
Slang for chatting. Okay.
my ex, but that's what went down. And SDs and Lion Kings, they ain't good.
Shabusiness mentions in that recording, and according to her poem that she read out, that Shad Thyrion allegedly had stolen from her, and that's why she says she, quote, took him out.
I wasn't supposed to be doing business with my ex, but I did. And then what he did, he pocketed the money that I was supposed to have. So I went out and took his out for that. As soon as that went down, I started chopping up the body. Because I did one thing for sure. I did have, I had a lot of out there.
Taylor Shabusiness was eventually charged with first-degree intentional homicide. She was also charged with third-degree sexual assault for assaulting the body after Shad Thyrion was already dead. But on top of all of this, she was also charged for mutilating a corpse. So why desecrate the body in that way?
That I can conceal this crime, I chopped off his body. And then, there was a lot of things going on at the time, but...
And right here is where the Jeffrey Dahmer comparison comes in. In all, Jeffrey Dahmer was convicted of 16 murders in the early 1990s. And I would say he's one of the more notorious serial killers there is out there for the grotesque aspects of the case. I mean, it's involving cannibalism and necrophilia on top of murder. So Dahmer, of course, comes up when we're talking about Taylor Shabusiness, because first of all, they've got the Wisconsin connection. But second of all, he also came up in Taylor Shabusiness's search history. Here's a clip from her trial.
Were there several searches related to Jeffrey Dahmer and other items on the device that were consistent with Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes. Things such as flaming pentagram, Jeffrey Dahmer, things like that. KKK, I believe, is one of them.
And Detective, did you note the dates and times of the respective searches that you believed were relevant?
It was around the time of the homicide.
And there's a now infamous photo of Taylor Shabusiness smiling next to a photo of Jeffrey Dahmer.
That has got to be like one of the lamest things I've ever seen in my life. gonna hold up a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer that's on a cell phone and then pose next to it. That's so lame. And then I'm gonna have somebody take a picture of that. Like, that's so lame. Lame.
Out of bed or
You're lame.
sitting, and then there's a phone next to her, and the phone has a picture of Jeffrey Dahmer on her phone. So they're together. We all know that Jeffrey Dahmer was the worst serial killer in Wisconsin history.
Okay.
There are a lot of negative memories and thoughts and commentary.
Okay.
People watch that trial on TV
Okay.
with Attorney Boyle and Attorney Wendy
Okay.
in Milwaukee County. The state is trying to link my client with Jeffrey Dahmer by offering these exhibits.
Shabusiness explained all of this to Law and Crime.
I had my niece with me, and she was watching a whole lot of series on Dahmer. A whole lot of series on Dahmer, and then everybody thought I was dating Dahmer, so people were laughing at my saying I was.
People thought you were dating a man that's been dead since 1994? Really? Did you think of maybe not talking to those people anymore because they are brain dead?
Dating Dahmer. I took a picture with his, and then I was trying to put it on a blow-up doll, a customized blow-up doll.
Oh my God.
His face, and then send it off to one of my friends.
Okay, so is it just me, or does this seem like something that Scarlett Hampton would do if people started saying, like, you're dating this guy, that she would do something like
In
that?
the phone calls with us, Shabusiness says she admits to the crime. She admits to murdering Shad Thyrion and dismembering his body. But she says she's no female Jeffrey Dahmer. She's only killed one person.
I mean, no.
I'm starting to think she might not be all there. She might not. I don't know. It's possible.
You beef with hard. I mean, yeah, you want to murder but no. I mean, that's what other they be saying on my name that I've killed more than one. But I mean, I'm trying to work on this appeal, and get out.
Throughout the call, we asked Shabusiness about the crime, but also her personal.
How would she appeal? I'm going to have to watch that trial, because how would she appeal that case?
Background, what she wanted to be when she grew up, or what she daydreamed about. The other voice in this clip that you'll hear is our booking producer, Diane Kay.
I would like to be a teacher, or I'd like to be a whatever, you know?
I'd like to be still slinging my pussy on the street.
Oh, okay.
Over here, it's all right.
Okay. All right.
What? Wow.
Well, that makes sense.
Long crime also.
Oh my God. Okay. We have to watch that one more time.
I'd like to be still slinging my pussy on the street, but over here.
She asked, like, what do you, like, if you're going to get out of prison, what would you want to be doing if you want to get out of prison?
I'd like to be still slinging my pussy on the street, but over here, it's all right.
Okay. All right.
What does that even mean?
Well, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Is that what you want to do?
About the attacks of her attorneys, because as we pointed out, there are multiple, and she gave us some background.
The most recent one, when my attorney, he was calling my and he was saying I need another competency here, and he kept on calling my sticking his tongue out at me, and so I went off on his.
My lawyer kept calling me retarded.
When my attorney, he was calling my and he was saying I need another competency here, and he kept on calling my sticking his tongue out at me.
No, he
So
didn't.
I went off on his. But the one before that, he was doing the same thing too, saying that like about competency. He kept on saying, you need more competency hearings. You need more competency hearings. They constantly keep on saying that. And I said, no, I'm straight. I'm straight. My dad showed up in the back of the courtroom, and as soon as he popped through, that was my dad's previous attorney too, and then he had just fired his. He said, get this guy off your case. So then, as soon as my dad popped up in the courtroom and he sat his down, I already knew it was go time, and that's when I had to go in. So
I think her dad's in prison as well. If I remember this correctly, was it him? There was somebody who the dad was called to testify in their trial, and he was incarcerated. I think it might have been her dad.
and that's when I went in and I fired it.
Taylor Schabusiness went to trial in July of 2023. She pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, and she stands by that.
Definitely insane, you know.
Wait, so she's mad because the lawyer wanted her to have a competency hearing. And then she pled guilty by reason of insanity? Hold on. By reason of mental disease?
So then that's when I went in and I fired it.
Taylor Schabusiness went to trial in July of 2023. She pleaded not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect, and she
not
stands
guilty.
by that.
Definitely.
She's obviously retarded then, because if she thinks that she can just plead not guilty by reason of mental disease and without doing a competency hearing, then she's retarded.
Insane, you know. I should have went back to Chicago. I should have went down south, but I didn't do that. I stayed up north. I stayed around in Green Bay. I went back to where my bracelet was at, and to continue going to work. And then continue on from there, but instead, I just smoked up with my roommate, and that was that.
To be
That's
clear,
always a
though,
good
Taylor
option.
Schabusiness was found guilty and found to be sane at the time of the crime.
The first verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The second verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of mutilating a corpse as charged in count 2 of the information.
Yup.
Dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The next verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of third-degree sexual assault as charged in count 3 of the information. Dated this date, 26th day of July, 2023, signed by the foreperson.
So she was sentenced to life in prison, which, by the way, is the highest sentence anyone can receive in the state of Wisconsin. They abolished death penalty long ago. Now, Taylor Schabusiness has tried to appeal her conviction, but the court found there are no grounds for appeal. This actually happened recently. She wrote a handwritten note to the court, and here's what it reads in part, quote, I will voluntarily dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post-conviction motion. So more could be ahead for her.
Wait. Court of Appeals. I'm a voluntary dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post-conviction motion. This is a letter she wrote to a judge. It says, I'm a voluntary dismiss, not I'm going to voluntarily dismiss. Nope. I'm a voluntary dismiss the no merit and extend the time to file a post-conviction motion. Whoa. Wow.
Extend the time to file a post-conviction motion. So more could be ahead for her in terms of motions. We do know, though, that she's due back in court already in October for a second trial she now faces, this time for assaulting a staff member at the women's prison that she's currently housed in. We'll see what's ahead at Taylor Business's upcoming trial. Law and Crime does plan to be there, so we'll give you all of the updates.
Oh,
as
she's
what happens with the hearings and then the eventual 3-day trial that is scheduled. On top of that, our booking producer, Diane Kay, is the one who's been in contact with Taylor Business and recorded those phone calls. So we'll see if Taylor continues to reach out to Diane, and if so, and reveals more information, we'll definitely have a follow-up episode with the latest.
What did I just watch? Oh my God. We can thank Vengeance Demon for subjecting us to that. What a mess. Yeah, so seems like she's doing pretty well. She is trying to appeal her murder conviction, which is crazy because I mean, she confessed to everything. She I don't know. I don't know how she had some of the body parts like in her possession. So even if you didn't commit the act, which you did, you still took some of the body parts with you home. Like you need to be in prison for that. Like, does she think that she's actually going to get an appeal because she's insane? Crazy is a business. Business is a booming. Like, does she really? It's really hilarious to me. She doesn't want to do any competency hearings, but she wants to. I think that's what her plan is like she wants to prove that she's insane. And that's why it happened. But like, also, if it's because of mental disease, like you're still going to have to be taken away from the public. Like you can't just be out there like, oh, she might do it again, but it's okay because she's insane. Frank. All right, and they went to Vets Talking Drury. Ashley shows up, Michael Black, and not Gino. There's only one person in there that I actually am not familiar with. Everyone else we know, but guess who isn't on there? MA. Yeah, so I mean, I think that Taylor Business needs to understand that like you can't just be like, I'm insane and that's it. Like you have to do competency hearings and stuff if you you have to go through with all the stuff. MA isn't even trying. She's not. I just want everyone to see your beautiful face. That's all. You're so cute. Try harder, MA. Did you talk about the new trans shooter yet? No, I'm not going to talk about that. I mean, we talked about it briefly, about like I saw the stuff on the internet.com. And I don't know if it's I don't know if it's a CIA plant or if it's a mentally deranged person who wanted to be just like a CIA plant. But it's tragic either way, and this is awful. And people need to stop being awful, whether they are a 3-letter agency or if they are just a regular person who's insane. Yeah, that's about it. Taylor's business, though, she is insane. Yeah, I think that she needs to understand that that she's retarded. We're still on page 28 of Laura Loomer's deposition. We could do that, or we could talk about all these NHS horror stories, because I've had that saved for a while. It's very sad. Was the school shooter trans? That's what people are saying. Just thought it was interesting how much we know about the trans shooter today and still nothing about Thomas Crooks. Yeah, that's kind of an indicator that perhaps it was just some mentally deranged lunatic that wanted to be just like some other idiot in the news. And because, when it's a CIA plant, look at the Vegas shooting. Nothing there lines up. We have almost no information, and any information that we do have is all a lie. That's how you know it's a CIA plant. Yeah, that Thomas Crook stuff is that's crazy because does the president of our country know? The one that the bullet was coming towards? Which, by the way, I want to tell you guys something, okay? Everyone who says Donald Trump literally took a bullet for us. No, he didn't. He didn't take that bullet. It grazed his ear at best. From what I've gathered, it was shrapnel that actually hit his ear, not the bullet. Who did take the bullet? Corey Compatore. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it was that guy, the firefighter that was protecting his family. He took a bullet. And mainly for his family, not for our country. Rightfully so. It was the bullet that hit Trump's ear. Shrapnel from where? The glass protection. The protective glass. Did you not know that exists? When a president speaks in a public place? You don't know that that's a thing? Poor Russell. Domino's delivered the wrong pizza. Now I'm annoyed and hangry. Oh, boo. Hi, choo-choo. Sam, stolen valor. Yeah. Donald needs to stop taking all the credit. There was no glass up that day. I find that hard to believe. Not the female FBI agent. What? She didn't take the bullet? What? Courtney, I think you're listening to false information. From whomst? About what? Donald Trump didn't take a bullet. You can see a video of it happening. If he took a bullet, his head would have been blown off. I'm sorry, that's so disrespectful to the dude that fucking died. And it's really gross, actually. Yeah, the bullet was intended to go to Donald Trump, but he's not the one who took it. He bled for a few minutes. Come on. He didn't take a bullet for the country. Even if he took the bullet or whatever, you really genuinely think he was going to take it for our country? Like, come on. Somebody shot at him. The bullet hit his ear just because it didn't stop him. Didn't stop at him doesn't mean he took a hit. Well, that's the thing is like he Viking. Hello. Look at you being late again. Why haven't you accepted Donald J. Trump as your personal savior, Courtney? Yeah, you're never going to find me worshiping any public servant at all. They're all piles of garbage. The bullet stopping at him is the literal definition of taking a bullet. The way that people go about it, oh my God, he literally took a bullet for this country. Somebody shot at him, it grazed his ear and killed a person. And everybody seems to forget about the person who actually died that day because they want to believe that, like, oh my God, he was actually, he was trying to save the country with his ear. Like, no. He definitely did not. If you want to, oh, okay, let's what's the word I'm looking for is mince words. Okay, I'll give you that. Oh, he took a bullet. He didn't take a bullet for the country. He didn't look at it and be like, oh my God, I have to block these people behind me. No. He luckily dodged the bullet. To be honest, technically, I mean, he avoided the intention of the bullet. He did take a hit, Courtney. Just because the bullet didn't stop at him doesn't mean he didn't take it. He was the intended target. He got shot 6 times. Donald Trump did? Donald Trump got shot 6 times. And only one of them hit his ear. And everyone wants to say, he took a bullet for our country. No, not trying to save the country, but it's the whole conspiracy around being taken out of the race so he wouldn't become president. Yeah, but he took a bullet for the country. He did not. Somebody shot at him. It grazed his ear. It killed somebody else. And I'm going to tell you right now, if he actually knew that bullet wasn't coming, he wouldn't have taken that bullet for you. No, he would have done. He would have done exactly what we fucking saw. Drop to the ground, hide. Get that fat lady that looks like Melissa McCarthy to cover me up. He's not going to take a bullet for you, especially on purpose. No. Courtney, would you take a bullet or Cricket, would you take a bullet for Courtney? Oh, she absolutely would not. I like Trump, but Courtney's right. Never idolize a politician. I mean, he's like fine. You know what I mean? Like, whatever. Out of all of them, like, sure. I mean, I voted for him. Hello. But I mean, he still wanted to be president, and that's for losers. But I mean, what? I don't know what that's in reference to. You're going to have to elaborate. You're going to have to give me the full sentence. This is exactly right, actually. There is but one God, Courtney, and Penelope is her prophet. He's best at triggering other politicians. And that's what I like about him. He pisses everybody off. What you just said 20 seconds ago. You're going to have to elaborate. Did you not wait for me to finish my sentence? Hi, honey. Where is Penelope anyway? I always seem to lose her. He wants to taunt the Dems because he can. And he needs to taunt all of them. Really. That was your sentence. Okay. I don't know what you're saying. Somebody help. Somebody, can you comment for Spike and explain what he's saying? Because I don't know. Yeah, Penelope, get back to your show. She's someplace not giving a shit. She's hijacking a food truck. Well, he sounds like DS. It's just Spike's turning into plot bot. Just saying things that I don't need to worry about. It's just there in the chat. I have to comb through it. Penelope's my spirit animal. Don't give a shit about anything at all. Need to. Oh, did food come yet? Yes, it did. It must have shown up when you left or when you were away for a bit. It did. It showed up while we were watching Taylor's interview. Yeah, Chungus is my spirit animal. She's such a sweet baby. Chungus is just a sweet girl, and she's trying her best to be just a nice baby. So I don't know if that's your spirit animal, Viking. Penelope hates black people. I think she's your spirit animal, Viking. Look at this little baby girl. Yeah, do 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 do. Hi, you're so cute. I love you. Ooh, do, 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 do. See, look at her. Not a thought in her brain, and she just loves her mom, and that's all. And she's a bit chunky. I almost have her trained to put her harness on. She's the only one I got to do that. Like I'll put it down in front of her and she'll like pick up her paw, just and then I go tap 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 tap, and she fumbles, but she tries. The other ones, they're too much, so I just have to force them into it. Where's her sweater? Her green sweater, she would blend into the background. She's big for a Chihuahua. She's a Chiweenie, which also is kind of big. Oh, you're trying to get comfortable, honey. You're just a sweet baby. You're my little chonga choo choo. What? It's almost time. It's almost time for them to have dinner, so they're gonna start acting a little weird. Hi. You're cute. She is big. She's just, I don't know, she might be mixed with something else. Like I saw a real dachshund today, and it was a lot smaller than her. And like Dexter, he's a real Chihuahua, and he's like 6 pounds. He's so tiny. So what made her that size? Why are you that size, Chunga Choo Choo? How was the rescue so good at disguising your body? I don't know. Oh, you guys, I can't believe I didn't. Did I play this for you guys? Wait, no, I didn't. I thought I already did. I probably just watched it a million times. And look at this. Look at this dog. Yeah. Look! Oh my gosh! Oh, he won or lost. I don't know. He's playing tetherball by himself. Man, I haven't played tetherball in a while. I wish I could play tetherball. I don't have any friends. I vote for Chewini to be changed to Dawawa. Dawawa. Napoleon Dogomite. He's a baby. I thought it was so cute. Sam, have you seen this cat? I feel like you're never here when I show this cat. Do, 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 do. Pipe down. We don't need it. We don't need to hear the music. We just need to see. Look at the cat. Oh. Some cats can be really nice. I just found the boob emoji in the fabric prison on display. Not cool. Oh, it's dead. Are we sure the cat is alive? I don't know. Do you guys want to get back into the Laura Loomer deposition? I think I'm going to feed them. I think I have to. I'm going to go feed them, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss what we're going to do next. Now I need to get up and move. I forgot that Jonathan Davis beatboxed and scatted in Freak on a Leash. Does anybody remember this? Go! That guy became a millionaire from that, by the way. Here I am doing that for free, and homie was getting millions of dollars to do that on stage every night. But like seriously, how come we didn't talk about that more? Jonathan Davis is over here with his dreadlocks. Go! And we just accepted it. We turned him into a millionaire. What? We did that. We were like, this is perfect. Thank you, Jonathan Davis. I mean, for crying out loud, nowadays he would have been protested and harassed, I think, for the cultural appropriation. Corn Prodigy mashup, please. Go! Oh man. Subscribe for more of that. Yeah. I forgot that Jonathan Davis beatboxed and scatted in Freak on a Leash. Does anybody remember this? Da boom bap bap boom bada marina. A boom bap bap boom bada marina. A boom bap bap boom bada marina. A boom bap bap boom bada marina. Go! Bow bow bam bap bow. Ho something bam bow. Ho something bap bow. That guy became a millionaire from that, by the way. Here I am doing that for free, and homie was getting millions of dollars to do that on stage every night. Da boom bap bap boom bada marina. A boom bap bap boom bada marina. Ho something bap go. Ho something bam bow. Ho something bap bow. Something bam bow. Boom bap boom bada marina. A boom bap boom bada marina. But like seriously, how come we didn't talk about that more? Jonathan Davis is over here with his dreadlocks. A boom bap boom bada marina. A boom bap boom bada marina. Boom bap boom bada marina. A boom bap boom bada marina. Go! Ha hosting a bap ha ha pa 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 pa. And we just accepted it. We turned him into a millionaire. What? We did that. We were like, this is perfect. Thank you, Jonathan Davis. I mean, for crying out loud, nowadays he would have been protested and harassed, I think, for the cultural appropriation. Corn prodigy mashup, please. Okay, I almost ended the stream. Oh, there's some discourse about the cats. Do we have any new body cams? No. Hey, 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 hey. Is Jonathan Davis on Cameo? We have to get him to scat for Courtney. That'd be amazing. What an incredible birthday present. Oh, Healer, nice of you to show up. Where'd you do? Can't believe Lounginger hasn't shown up to fat shame Chongus yet. Look at that little baby. Look at your big head. See, you have a big head. It's meant for a big body. What a baby. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Pardon me, my dog is being my dog. All right. No, not the armpit. Lounginger is trying to become a mod, so he stopped shaming the dogs. Okay. Do we remember anything from the Laurel Loomer deposition? Because it's been so long. I remember the defense was really aggressive. And was trying to get her personal information into the public record. Lots of objections and lots of talking over each other. So far, we really didn't get into anything interesting. They were just trying to establish some information. There's one moment where she kind of blurted out information for no reason, and I can't remember what was it. Yeah, they wanted to dox her bad. Like it was. I can't figure out why. There's a lot of talking in circles because they were trying to figure out if like if she had like spoken to people about the deposition, and she was like, well, I haven't spoken to anybody, but these people know about it. And there was just like a lot of talking in circles over and over and over again about it. Just like, yes or no, babe. Yes or no. Don't. What else happened? It's gonna be hard to pick up where we left off if we don't remember how exactly we left off. But let's just go for it, just for fun, huh? Let me see something. And do I want? No. There we go. This is what we needed last time. Okay. So, crap. Now I don't know. Oh, we're on page 25. We don't want 25 because we were on 28. So let's go here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start kind of in the middle here. So Miss Bulger says, okay, and Miss Bulger is the defense. Okay, I'm going to move to strike that. I'm going to take the time back because that was not responsive to my question, and I'll add that time to my 7 hours. And then Laura Loomer's attorney says, and there were objections. Wait, I keep doing that. I keep scrolling when I shouldn't be scrolling. Says, well, you don't get to decide. Miss Bulger, we're going to mark Exhibit 1. Mr. Clayman, can you please stop being so arrogant? Like, this stuff kept happening. This is done. So we're going to mark Exhibit 1, the defendant's first set of requests for documents and production things. Can you mark that Exhibit 1 for me? Mr. Clayman was like, can you please stop being so arrogant and abrasive? Okay, it's amazing. God. Where is it? Okay. It's amazing how you don't throw things at me. What? No, that's intentional, okay? This is so bad and so immature. Here you go, Mr. Clayman. Can you mark this? It wasn't intentional. Okay, so Mr. Clayman says, you treat us both. You treat us both with. Okay, so he doesn't finish his sentence there. Okay, and what did you search for? Documents in this, or search for? Wow, what did you search for? Documents responsive to this document? Vague and ambiguous. You might want to ask her, more specifically. Mr. Clayman, Ms. Loomer, can you answer my question? And there were objections as well, so that should be noted. This does not reflect the objections. So my question was, what did you do to search for documents responsive to this request? Well, as I said, all right. Well, as I said, well, perfect. She talks like me. And as my attorney said too, there were objections made regarding relevancy to some of these overreaching requests for documents. So I provided relevant documents. Okay, unlike Bill Maher. Wow. Let's start out by saying, number 1, all documents and communications concerning the September 13th episode, 2024 episode. What did you do to search for those documents? Well, you have the episode and answer my question, which is, what did you do to search for those documents? That's my question. The episode on September 13th was aired by HBO. And so it's not like I planned to wake up and see that Bill Maher falsely accused me of having sex with President Trump. So I looked for the transcript and the video recording of the episode and the media publications that were published in the aftermath of the airing of this episode. For number 5, where it says all documents and communications between you and President Trump. What did you do to search for those documents? Okay. Well, there's. Oh my God. Hey, I want your money. Give me your money. Super chat. Super chat. Give me all your money. 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 I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money. I want your money. Give me your money.
I wish somebody were funding me. I'm poor.
The setup is really weird because it doesn't seem like I'm scrolling to the next page. Like it says page 28, and then I scroll, and it just seems something's cut off. So let me see something. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Hmm. Oh, God. Well, I messed something up. Hold on. Okay. That is really annoying, but okay. Hold on a second. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. It seems like all I wanted was okay. I think this is like okay. I'm not really sure, but we're gonna go with it. Back to page 29. All right. So you did not just do that. Not irritating at all. Nope. We'll get some to. There's never mind. I'm not. I don't want. I don't want to talk. Clearly, I can't speak very well at all. Okay. All right, don't touch anything. Here we go, page 29. Yeah, there's stuff that's like missing here. That's really annoying. It's going to happen again. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. All right. Well, we're just going to have to deal with it not looking very good. I'd like to read all of the words, instead of just some of them. That would be cool. Hi, backhand. Okay, here we go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I don't even remember where we were. The episode on September 13th was aired by HBO, and it's not like I planned to wake up and see that Bill Maher had falsely accused me of having sex with President Trump. And so I looked for the transcript and the video recording of the episode and the media publications that were published in the aftermath of the airing of this episode. For number 5, where it says all documents and communications between you and President Trump, what did you search for those documents? What did you do? What did you do to search for those documents? Well, there's an objection to that in terms of overbreadth, relevancy, vague and ambiguous. You don't get to testify, Mr. Clayman. Miss Loomer, what did you do to search for those documents? No, but you're presuming facts. There's nothing that are not in evidence. God, they keep talking over each other. Holy crap. Facts are not in evidence. There's nothing objectionable about that question. You're presuming facts that are not in evidence. What did you do to search for those documents? Hey, are you presuming facts not in evidence? If you're just asking, what? I don't know if that's true, but okay. Well, there was an objection. And as I said, I'm a journalist. And so there's a lot of, restrictions on what constitutes communications. And, the fact of the matter here is that Bill Maher falsely accused me of having sex with President Trump. And so, there's no evidence that I had sex with President Trump. I've never even been in the same room with President Trump alone. So, so you're saying that you didn't search for those documents? I provided all the documents that were relevant, and I did search for documents. And I provided everything necessary. I provided the letter that I sent to the staff during the transition team. Did you search for your private communications with the Mr. Trump or his staff as requested in this document request? Yeah, I believe so. Did you produce them to me? I turned over whatever I had that was, I scrolled. I turned over whatever I had that was not objected to my attorney to give to you. But again, there were objections. So is it your testimony under oath that you've never exchanged any written communications with Mr. Trump or his team? Asked and answered. Yeah. Not to mention the fact her testimony was that she had communicated with them. She did not. Written communications, you mean like pen and paper? Because written communications, I would assume, just means like text messages, emails, things of that nature, right? I've already communicated I've already said that I communicated with President Trump's staff over the phone. You also said you got text messages, right? Yes. But that has nothing to do with, I didn't ask you what. But that has nothing to do with it. Wait, but you, and as I'm a journalist, you know, so you did not search for any documents. That's not true. What? God, stop talking over each other. I can't tell what they're trying to say. So you do not search for any documents related to communications. That's not true. That's not true. Sure, she's trying to sound like Frankie. Let me ask the question, Ms. Loomer. You did not search for any documents related to your communications with Mr. Trump or his team that you and Mr. Klayman decided weren't relevant. Is that correct? But there were other aspects of the objection. Gee. Did he object? Is that correct? That's not true. There were objections. Right. You decided what your objections were, and then you didn't search for any documents other than what you thought. That's up to you. Take that up with the judge. You take that up with the judge. Yeah. Because you didn't search for it. Your requests, that's not true. Wow. A lot of your requests were very harassing and overreaching, and that's why my attorney objected to them so that you can take it up with the judge. Your client didn't even produce documents. Okay. Your client wants his entire deposition under seal because he doesn't want the world to see what a horrible misogynistic sexist person he is. He admitted he had Mr. Klayman. Wait. Miss Bulger, Miss Loomer, that is confidential, and you know it's confidential, and you want to sit here and violate a court order. You go right ahead. I'm not violating any court order. She did not give any testimony about what he said. True. Ms. Loomer, did you search for all documents and communications supporting the complaints allegations that the episode severely harmed and damaged you? That's on page number 12. Yes, I did. And what documents did you produce? I turned over my resume and I turned over my letter with the transition team. And obviously, your resume to prove that you were harmed? I don't understand. I'm not working in the White House, so it has damaged me because I was expecting to work in the White House. What? True story. Loomer won a dating game on Compound Media with the Cannibal Cop. Not sure if they went out though. Wait, with the Cannibal Cop. Wait. Ah, crap. Okay, well we're gonna have to touch base on that now. Because what? Okay, obviously I'm not working in the White House, so it has damaged me because I was expecting to work in the White House, and you have those documents, you have those communications that has my email, so you already have my email. So that's it? All you had was that? The only evidence you have of your reputation being damaged by the report was that one misstates testimony application you made to the White House? I turned over tweets. Misstates testimony? Wait. I turned over tweets. I turned over media reports that insinuated that I'm a whore, that I was having an affair with the president. I turned over a lot of news publications, including the additional episode that was published and aired by HBO and Bill Maher, in which he tried to compound the damages that he did to my reputation on September 13th and episodes that were seen millions of times. Do you understand that when we asked for documents, we were asking for any and all communications you had with anyone about the episode? That misstates what you were asking for. You can refer to the specific request. Ms. Loomer, please answer my question. No, she doesn't have to answer your question. It's improperly formed. Ms. Loomer, answer my question. My God, this is a nightmare. This has got to be like one of the worst experiences any human being can have. Holy crap. First of all, oh man. These attorneys they're bad attorneys. We need to make sure, I mean, I would say Loomer's attorney is doing a good job for the most part, but like they're just yelling over each other. And some of his objections don't really make sense. But did you search for any documents that you did not deem acceptable? Did you search for any documents that you did not seem acceptable? Okay, this is worded weird. I did search for documents, but I'm not required to turn over things that are harassing in nature or are overreaching. I have protections and I have rights, just like your client didn't turn over documents. What did you do for a living? What do you do for a living, Miss Loomer? I'm a journalist. You, in fact, describe yourself as an investigative journalist, correct? My God. What does it mean to be an investigative journalist? Well, I expose fraud, corruption, waste, abuse. I investigate wrongdoing. I expose people and I expose people. I expose people like many of your clients for their involvement in weaponization of government. I expose malicious lawfare. I expose all types of corruption, which is why I have amassed a very large following online, because I've broken a lot of big stories exposing a lot of corruption in our country. Do you follow code of ethics in doing your investigative journalism? Vague and ambiguous. Objection. Yeah, I report the truth. Have you ever heard of the SPJ code of ethics, for example? Yeah, but I also know objection, relevancy. Okay, she's going to keep talking, even though there was an objection. Okay. This is a lot of the standards that are determined and defined by the mainstream media, and a lot of these journalistic entities are biased in nature. They lean heavily toward the left. And I'm also not naive. And I understand that there's a lot of bias perpetuated by the news, which is you're very familiar with. Obviously, you represented your firm. Your firm represented George Stephanopoulos. There's Snuffleupagus again. Who had to settle with President Trump for $15 million. And, you make a lot of money representing the purveyors of fake news who clearly don't abide by the rules of journalistic ethics. So you should ask your own clients whether or not they understand journalistic ethics. So again, maybe they wouldn't have had to settle with President Trump for $15 million if your client had understood journalistic ethics, right? Oh, jeez. Ms. Loomer, my question was, have you ever heard of the SPJ code of ethics and you suddenly launched into a tirade, which you continually do? No, I said yes. And I'm reminding you, I said yes. No, I said yes. One at a time, please. One at a time, please. Yeah, seriously. I said yes, but I'm also not going to be, hold on, let's go back up. I'm also not going to be gaslit by a Democrat lawyer. Oh my God, you're a Democrat lawyer. Or maybe she is a lawyer who represents like sleazeballs. But do you not know what a lawyer is? You have to have what is it? Zealous advocacy for your client, no matter what their political beliefs are, no matter what your personal convictions are. You have a client, they give you money, you're an advocate for them now. That doesn't make you a Democrat or a Republican, idiot. But I'm also not going to be gaslit by Democrat lawyer who represents fake news media and has given political donations to Democrats. I've checked the FEC records because I'm an investigative journalist, and I know you donated to the DCC. You donate to Act Blue, and you represent Trump haters. I mean, there's that. The donations, okay, fine, but you represent Trump haters. Yeah, because she's a lawyer and she has to accept money to represent whoever wants her to be their lawyer. Now, granted, lawyers can turn down a case, but they are stupid to do so because that's how they earn money. Why are you dumb? Okay. Yeah, you represent Trump haters who have to settle with President Trump because they're purveyors of fake news. So I'm not going to be gaslit by you. I'll answer your questions, but I'm not going to be gaslit. Gaslit? I don't know if you know what gaslighting is, ma'am. Because that's not gaslighting. That's just asking if you're familiar with SPJ ethics. Miss Loomer, by a Democrat. You don't get to yell at me. I'm not. And you don't get to make this personal. I'm not yelling at you because that's pathetic. Wow. I'm not yelling at you. My question, I'm letting people know. People? Oh my God. I'm letting people know because this is probably going to go to trial. I'm letting people know that I understand journalistic ethics, but your clients, People should know that you represented CNN on your law firm website. You say that you are Trump's least favorite firm. I don't say that. You make money and you monetize. You did. You've since deleted, right? For the record, Davis Wright Tremaine has since deleted this article that they had highlighted on their website, Hollywood Reporter, from March of 2009. 2009? Girl, we're going to start timing these, Miss Loomer. That's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead. You have 7 hours. We're here all day. Jeez. They're all idiots. If we were going to ask, like, who's the asshole, they all suck. They all suck. Maybe Mr. Clayman. We're having a lot more, sister. They have an article on their website which they have since deleted after I exposed them because they like to monetize off of malicious lies from fake news media. Oh my God. Seriously, Laura, shut up. So you should ask yourself for your law firm whether or not you believe in journalistic ethics. So you've never heard of the SPJ Code of Ethics? I don't care about reading, you know. What? I don't care about reading, you know, any made up rules, any made up ethics from purveyors of fake news and people they want to put their political affiliation ahead of the truth. So when people read what you write, I don't care about to get a lecture from a Democrat lawyer who donates to Democrats. Okay, shut up. Your obsession with like the being devoted to a political party is sad. It's sad. It's so gross. So people read what you write. Are you holding it out to them as the truth? Yes. You referred to yourself earlier as a free speech warrior, right? That is gay bar. Are you serious? I'm a free speech warrior. Oh my God, you're so lame. I'm sorry. That's lame. That's lame. I'm a free speech warrior. Shut up. Look, I have respect for people who put themselves like out on the line, right? Like when they're like a lot of people during a very vulnerable time did a lot of things that were very where like social media especially was very against anything that might be like remotely Republican leaning, right? And so like I do have respect for people when they for the people that, you know, between like 2020 to 2023 that were speaking out for people to essentially clear the way to make things at least the way that they are today, which we still have a lot of work to do. But like to call yourself a free speech warrior, that's so lame. If you have to proclaim it, you aren't. There's that. Like, what? If you have to tell people that that's what you are, you probably aren't. What is a free speech warrior? I fight for free speech. Shut up. You've also referred to yourself as free speech absolutist, correct? Yes. What does that mean? Well, within the realms of acceptable speech, not defamation like your client has committed against me, I fight for freedom of expression and free speech. But that doesn't include malicious lies, including the lie that I had sex with President Trump. So what other categories of speech do you, as a self-described free speech absolutist, not protect? I'm starting to like this lady. You're a defamation lawyer. You surely understand that you cannot just falsely accuse a woman of having sex with the president and trying to ruin his marriage simply because you don't like the fact that that person traveled to a presidential debate with the president and his campaign staff. Surely you know that. So maybe you don't because your clients have lost and had to settle with President Trump because they defamed him. I don't know. Maybe you don't understand defamation. Have you ever taken a journalism course? Yes, I was valedictorian and graduated 4.0 GPA from Barry University. I didn't know that was a school. And I majored in broadcast and emerging media, and I minored in political science. Have you ever taken a journalism ethics course? Yes. When did you do that? When I was in college. What did you learn in that course? Well, objection, relevancy, harassment. I learned that, so she still answers. I learned that the educational system in our colleges and our universities is plagued by Democrats who pretend to be intellectuals who want to try to indoctrinate students with a left-wing ideology. That's hilarious because you know what? I never went to a university. I never went to college at all. And I learned that just by paying attention. I can't believe she paid money for that. I learned about the importance of standing up for your rights, and I learned about the importance of not being bullied by professors. And I successfully resisted being indoctrinated into a little mini Marxist and communist, which is what we're seeing come out of a lot of American universities today. You know, it's why President Trump wanted to defund Department of Education, because people know that there's a progressive Marxist rot in our educational institutions. So I would say that I took a lot of what I learned in college with a grain of salt, because I'm not going to let myself be a vehicle for Marxist indoctrination. So just to put that together, to answer my question, I answered your question. What did you learn in journalism ethics course? Woo! Oh, this is fun. What did you learn in a journalism ethics course? I told you what I learned. You said that you learned not to be a Marxist. Yes, that's true. You own a company called Illuminate Media. Yes. What is Illuminate Media? It's my media company. And what does it do? I have a website. I publish news. I have a podcast called Loomer Unleashed. Loomer Unleashed. And we publish news reports and we do investigative reporting. How many people are employed by Illuminate Media? Objection, relevancy, myself, and I have a couple contractors. Okay, who are those contractors? Do you want their names? Yes. I have a production company that I pay on a monthly basis. What's that called? It's called ARC Studios. And what do? They just clip my videos from my podcast and they edit my clips. They edit the news clips from my DC correspondent. His name is Charles Downs. I don't like that they are being named. Okay. And Charles Downs is so just so I understand, he's your DC correspondent? Yes. And is he a contractor or an employee? He's a contractor. Okay. And does he work just for you? I believe so. I mean, I don't get into his personal business. He's a contractor. He's free to work for other people if he wants to, but he works with me. I've seen your show, Miss Loomer. Occasionally you ask someone to put something on a screen or show something. Yeah. Who's that you're talking to? My producer. Who's your producer? His name is Cannon. Okay. And he is an employee of ARC Studios. So the production company employs their staff and I contract the production company. Okay. So Illuminate Media has no employees. Is that right? Other than you? Correct. That's weird. Okay, I'm going to ask the court reporter to mark as Exhibit 2 a document actually that you produced. Ms. Loomer, which bears what I believe are the Bates numbers at the bottom right corner, 16 through 24. Can I have a copy of that? Of course you can. And the witness, I'm going to try to get it to you without throwing it to you, Larry, but you're far away. Oh, she called him by his first name. That'd be nice. Thank you. I'm going to draw your attention to page 20, but if you want to take a look at it generally, I'm fine with that. Go ahead and look at every page. My first question is going to be, do you recognize what this is? Yes. What is it? It is a letter that I produced in your document request. It's a letter that I sent to Trent Morse, who currently works in the White House PPO office. And at that time, he was leading the transition team for President Trump. And this was sent on November 14th, 2024. It's a copy of my resume and my cover letter. Okay. Can I ask you to turn to the letter, which starts the first page of the letter that has the Bates number 20 in the bottom right corner? Just let me know when you're there. Can I take a quick bathroom break? Can we finish this document? Well, that's why I want to do it because I got to go to the bathroom right now. Sure, that's fine. We can take a break. We're off the record. Back on the record. Okay, Ms. Loomer, I can't remember if I asked you this, so forgive me if I'm repeating the question, but this letter at 20 that you sent to the Trump transition team on November 14th, 2024, correct? Yes. Okay. And you drafted this letter? Yes. Okay, terrific. You begin by saying, with 10 years of experience as a communication professional, as an investigative journalist, do you see that? Yes. What's the difference in your mind between communications professional and investigative journalist? We're on page 38. Okay. It's gonna take us a long time to get through this, you guys. We have 90 pages left. Well, they're overlapping. I mean, I'm appealing to the fact that I have many skill sets. I was the communications director for Project Veritas when I worked for Project Veritas out of college. And, I would say that qualifies me to say that I'm a communications professional. I worked for a very well-known, high-profile, probably like the leading undercover investigative journalism company in the entire country, especially during a presidential election year. And I was their communications director, so I was truthful. This is boring me to death. And I have skills, doing communications work outside of reporting, right? So I can serve as a communications director. I can serve as press liaison. I can draft press releases. I have those skill sets. And when I was applying for a position in the Trump administration, I was making it known that what my talents and my skills are in my background. Did you have a particular position you wanted? Well, I was actually told that I was going to be working for President Trump when he hired me in his office in March of 2023 during a private meeting with him and Susie Wiles at Mar-a-Lago. And this was during the primary. And President Trump had actually instructed Susie to onboard me to do research for and perhaps assist with communications as well as in the primary. And then ultimately, there was a whole big story in the New York Times that didn't end up happening, but I just sent this kind of it was really hard, like an official professional in a professional manner, just to have like a record of my resume and my cover letter. Because, it's been widely publicized that President Trump had hired me in March and that, that there was discussion about bringing me on during the campaign when I was traveling, even though I wasn't working for the president. He was just, a fan of my investigative reporting. Woo. And then also after the campaign, right, I was really hoping that I would have a job. So what position was she hoping for? President Trump said on multiple occasions that I would work for him. Okay, I'm just going to cut that down into smaller bits just so I understand the timeline, if you don't mind. So you said that in March of 2023 that you were at a sit-down meeting with, and I'm not trying to misstate your testimony. I'm trying to get it right correctly. It was quick. That's fine. I understand. When you were March of 2023, you were at Mar-a-Lago with Susie Wiles and the president and the candidate Trump, now President Trump. Yes. And at that time he offered you a job on his campaign. Is that correct? Yes. And it was supposed to be, it wasn't a job interview. I'll tell you what the meeting was. So, oh my God. Why? What? Shut up. Holy crap. Holy crap. She won't shut up. I'll tell you what it was. Why are you telling her what it is? Oh my God. She didn't ask you that. Oh. I've been investigating Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, and there was always speculation he was going to run for president. Nobody like President Trump hadn't taken a shot at him yet. And there hadn't been an official break because people always thought that they were allies. So it's important for people to have that context. So by capacity as an investigative journalist, I was reporting on the governor's misappropriation. And this was widely reported by, left-wing media, right-wing media, if taxpayer funds in the state of Florida while he was governor to run a shadow presidential campaign disguised as a book tour. So I showed up to the book tour and, I was there to report on it where I was living, where I ran for Congress. And ultimately the the governor and his staff called the police, and the police came and they said they had to leave. Said we had to leave because we were Trump supporters, and at that point the video had gone viral. I was seen, I believe, like 27 million times. It was all over the media, and President Trump had seen the video. And it was really like the first breaking point that established the fact that Ron DeSantis was running against Trump. Does anybody know what that video is? Can anybody find a link to that video for me? Should we watch it? Woo! Okay. Ugh. First breaking point that established the fact that Ron DeSantis was running against Trump. So I was invited to a meeting at Mar-a-Lago because the president wanted to meet me, right? He wanted to meet me because he was impressed by my reporting. Oh my, she does not shut up. And he, in that conversation, took a place in his office with Susie Wiles at Mar-a-Lago. He was just asking me like all the types of different questions, what I thought about certain issues or my knowledge on certain issues. Holy crap. Oh my God. The president was very impressed by just how well versed I was. And he was very impressed by my reporting and my understanding of political affairs. And so he said he wanted to hire me on the spot, even though it was not a job interview. He instructed Susie Wiles to onboard me. To onboard me, and I was supposed to start working for his presidential campaign on April 1st of 2023. Well, the start date being April 1st should have been your first clue, dipshit. But then you did not, correct? I did not. And why was that? Why not was that? Ma'am, what? Well, it's strange because the president instructed this to happen. And from my understanding of how it went down, Susie had announced the campaign in an official meeting because they had their weekly meetings. This is what I was told. I wasn't there in the room. So for this discussion, God. So I'm going off of what I was told when I had a phone conversation with Susie Wiles. I have to keep taking like deep breaths because I don't know when her sentence is going to stop. She had told me that she had made an announcement to the campaign staff about the fact that I would be joining the campaign. It was her belief. This is what she told me, that one of the staff leaked it to the New York Times. And then the New York Times ended up planning a hit piece about, they changed the title multiple times. It was something along the lines of like Trump was hired. They called me anti-Muslim activist because report the truth about Islamic terrorism and anti-Semitism in America to work on his campaign. Jeepers creepers. And then they got a lot of anonymous sources to basically say, oh, well, yeah, we didn't like this, or, oh, we know, who knows if they're like the real sources because they don't know, attribute to real people. But then there's a follow-up article by Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan from the New York Times at the end of the day. They got another anonymous source to say that I would not be working on the campaign. I think I lost some brain cells. Okay. And so, it was kind of the elephants in the room the entire campaign season because, there wasn't really anybody else who was breaking the kind of reporting that I was breaking that was so pivotal to President Trump's lawfare. I exposed a lot of weaponization against the president. And, the president was very grateful for it. And his staff also. A lot of his staff were very grateful for it, too. She's just saying a bunch of filler words. I think we all lost some brain cells there. I'm telling you, this is like... And she's like insisting on like shoving all this stuff down her throat instead of like just answering the question very quickly. Like, I mean, I know that depositions are a little bit different than like a trial, but at the same time, like, it's very stupid to be like, I'm going to like explain this to you in 45 paragraphs. Like, well, shut up. Like, don't give them so much information. The least amount of information as possible, no matter what, whether it's a deposition or a trial. Oh my God. Okay. Exposed a lot of the weaponization against the president. The president was very grateful for us. Okay. And I was, given access like many other journalists to the campaign. Like I said, I have a media company. And so my staff and I oftentimes, traveled to the campaign events. And we were given press credentials to report on some of the rallies, right? You have to apply for the process of course, like through their communications team. It's like a form that you fill out and then it just, they let you know when you get to go inside the venue. What? So, oh my God. So, I went to South Carolina, I went to Iowa, I went to New Hampshire, I was in Florida. Let me just interrupt you. I'm not sure that this answers my question. No shit. Well, I'm just trying to explain it to you because, there's been a lot of misinformation in the media about it. So I was not an employee and I'm not an employee of President Trump's, but it was completely normal for me to travel with the campaign. A lot of journalists traveled with the campaign, actually. It's just the media wanted to sensationalize me for some manner. So I'm not talking about the time period of March 2023. So I'm just talking about the time period of March 2023. March 2023. Yes, that's correct. Yes. When you believed you were offered a job by the Trump campaign. I was offered a job. Yes. Okay, then. Sorry. I didn't mean to say otherwise. Yeah. You were offered a job by the Trump campaign, and then that offer was withdrawn. It wasn't even formally withdrawn. It was kind of bizarre. Oh my God. It was kind of just like silent treatment in a sense where I wasn't really officially contracted to say like, oh, your employment is being withdrawn. Oh my God. Just kind of like not discussed, right? I think I actually remember Milo Yiannopoulos announcing this on Twitter. You believe you were offered? Yeah, I don't think they were actually offered anything. Anyway, it was just kind of like not discussed, right? So it was just it was strange, and I didn't want to press it obviously because I didn't want to upset the president, and I didn't want to obviously. I was upset that this happened, and it was leaked, but I wasn't trying to create drama for the president because I cared more about president and my country than I did my ego. And so I was willing to put it aside for the sake of not having some fight in the media, and they would have used to attack President Trump and his staff. So you didn't reach out to any of the staff, Susie Wiles, perhaps. You didn't reach out to anybody and be like, "Hey, so what's up with that job?" Like I've known people when they're the squeaky wheel, they like get what they're looking for. Like I don't. What? Okay, you just mentioned quickly, you said that when you were getting credentials, your staff, and you said you used the phrase, my staff and I would get credentials. Who was the staff? My staff and I know I've used the term like employee interchangeably. I mean staff, because obviously, there's contractors. The term employee, of course, it's like a difference in tax purposes. Oh my God. Answer the question. Woo, my staff, right? My contractors, the video production team that I travel with them. So I would pay the expenses for my video, the production team that during the campaign. Okay, listen, you already said all this. You already answered the question. So just refer back to what you already explained before. Oh yeah, the production team that I contract. Yes, that's what I mean when I say my staff. Boom. On to the next one. So I pay the expenses for my video, the production team, and during the campaign too. I have my own media company. Oh my God. Dude. Girl, what are we doing? Hey, Laura, do you have your own media company? I wasn't sure. But because I was doing the show and it was like very extensive, I was working actually for a media company at the time too. So I had my own media company, but I was also working for a media company due to the sponsorship arrangement with my show. And who is that? And I'm not working with that. I don't work with that company anymore. What company was that? It was called TLM Media. But I was working with them because it was their staff, right? And eventually their staff broke off and started their own company because they had, their own internal issues. But I'm explaining when I say like I manage a team of employees, even though I was employed by that company during the time period while still managing my own company, I still manage the employees, right? Because the employees were my team, right? Who is she trying to convince of this? She's trying to convince herself. She's not trying to convince anybody of this except for herself. Oh my God. Nobody talks like this if they're girl. Because my employees are my team, right? Like my production team, and I was the main client, right? I was working there too. So I wanted to clarify that because in media, there's no question pending about that. So I know, but now ask you a question and then you can answer the question. But that's what I mean by staff. I pay for them to go with me. Great. Dude, she needs to watch like regular court trials and depositions to understand how this works. Like, this is just information for the record. It doesn't matter if this lawyer fully understands what she's saying or not. What matters is that information is on the record so that a determination can be made. Okay. I pay them to go with me to travel to cover these events. Oh my God. Yes. She won't shut up. Okay. Then other than that time in March 2023, when the president told you that he wanted you to work for him, has there ever been a time where the president or a member of staff have offered you a job? Yes. When was that? During the campaign. This is exhausting. Okay, Carrie, but how boring would this be if everything were a straight answer? We would have a lot less pages to go through. We would not have 130 pages, 128 pages to go through. We would have, 228 pages to go through. Oh my God. Oh no. We're at page 41. Oh my God. This is gonna be, I don't know if I'm gonna be able. Okay. Holy crap. You guys, Cricket's on the floor right now, and she is snuggling my phone charger for some reason. Wow, that is a cute dog. Okay. We're going to have to wrap this up, actually. Wow. Okay. We'll, we're on page, this is 43. Page 43. Everybody remember this. Page 43. That's where we're at, page 43. Are we sure she's actually as smart as she thinks she is? Dude, no. It's just, there's so much about it that like blows my mind. So with depositions, I haven't watched a lot of depositions, so I don't know exactly how it would go. Because I know that in a trial, right, you have the attorney. Okay, Carrie, page 43. Carrie's helping us. In a trial, you have the attorney asking questions, and then the next attorney or the opposing counsel will come up and they will do redirect, right? So it's direct examination and then redirect by the opposing counsel. And then after that, whoever's, up to bat, I guess, So, okay, in a trial, this is how it goes in a trial. Okay. So you have, in a civil court case, it's a plaintiff and a defendant. And in a criminal case, it's a prosecution or a defendant, right? So it starts with, in a criminal case, it starts with the prosecution. They present their case, right? So they're the ones who call a witness and they have a direct examination. And then the defendant will come and they will have redirect, or no, sorry, not redirect, God, cross-examination. Whoops, I did say it wrong before. I apologize. So they'll have cross-examination. And then prosecution will have the opportunity to redirect after cross. And then they'll and then recross and then redirect or redirect and cross. And then what we like to call three direct, and then another recross, right? Usually it's just direct, cross, redirect, maybe recross. The burden of proof is lower in civil court. Yeah, that's true. And so it's similar in a civil case where, or sorry, I'm not done with the criminal case. And so then once, so it goes that way with each and every witness until the prosecution rests their case, and then the defendant or the defense will then call their witnesses, and then they do a direct examination, and then the prosecution will go through and do a cross examination, and then again, defense can do redirect, cross, and then opposing counsel will come through and they can do recross, right, until they rest their case. So oftentimes, the majority of the time in a case like in these cases, you will see that both parties will do their opening statements at the same, or not at the same time, but they'll both do their opening statements like on the same day, right? So you'll have prosecution do their opening statements and then defense will do it right after. In some cases, like the Darrell Brooks case, in every case, they have the option to wait to do their opening statements when it's their turn to present their case. Whereas like the prosecution, because they are the ones with the burden of proof, they are the ones that always, they have the opening statement. They have to do their opening statement on the first day. And then when both cases are closed or are rested, then they do their closing arguments. It's very similar. It's almost the exact same thing with a civil case, right? You've got your opening statements, and then you have plaintiff, they present their case, and again, they call their witness, direct examination, defense does cross, redirect, recross, redirect, recross, three direct, three cross, right? Keep on going down the line. So because of that, counsel can redirect, or counsel can do cross-examination. I don't know if that's the case in a deposition, but because I think that all that it is, they're just gathering some information. But her attorney also has an opportunity to gather information and present information in the deposition as well. I'm pretty sure, or at least that's another thing too, is that with the deposition, this is really just deciding kind of like what the options are. Like, is it going to end up going to trial? Is like, what kind of settlement can be offered? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, she doesn't have to be going this crazy. Deposition is gathering pretrial information. Right. And so like, it's not that serious. If she's saying something in the deposition, like, she doesn't need to be over clarifying. She just needs to answer the questions so they can have the information that they need. That's it. Even with her over explanation about like the documents that were searched for and everything, like really all she had to say was like, I gathered the information that I felt was relevant. And I would have presented more if it was needed, but it was decided that it wasn't. So and it was decided by the judge. Because she said, she was like, you present that to the judge, like you request that to the judge. She could have just said, like, the judge decided that that wasn't needed, so I didn't look for it. Like I looked for the stuff that I felt was needed. I would have gathered more information. Judge decided that it wasn't needed, so I didn't look for it. But she's over explaining. It's so crazy. I don't understand why she won't just shut up. Opposing counsel can also point to inconsistencies in deposition versus testimony during trial. Right. See, there we go. Opposing counsel can also point to inconsistencies in deposition versus testimony during trial. So, like, right there, I mean, that when they're gathering all that information or whatever, like, they can, her attorney can point out the inconsistencies in whatever is going on during the deposition. So she doesn't have to be so high strung here. And, like, honestly, she's shooting herself in the foot by providing way too much information. Like, this isn't an article that's going to be spread across the internet, right? This is a deposition for a trial, or not necessarily for a trial, but for a court case. Like, the lawyer doesn't have to understand every little bit of detail that's going on here in order for a decision to be made, because the defense attorney is not going to be the one that decides, like, the outcome anyway. Like, they might decide if there is a settlement that they will offer to avoid going to trial. That happens all the time. But she doesn't need to know all this crap in order to come to that conclusion. If it does go to trial, let's hope it doesn't, because her testimony is going to be like 9 days long. Her attorney is going to need to coach her a bit and explain to her, like, shut your mouth. Answer yes, answer no. Answer yes, answer no. Like, I will redirect. I will recross or whatever, right? Like, I will get you. You don't have to. Don't do this. You're doing this bit while your brain is melting, Courtney. Wow, that's rude. Enjoy your ban. OMG, hi, JC. You have shown up 2 minutes before we're wrapping up. It's like she was treating the deposition as if it was an actual trial. I feel like she was treating it like it was an interview. She's treating it like she was on, like, what's a talk show? Well, this talk show doesn't exist anymore, but she was treating it like she was, like, on the Wendy Williams show. And she just felt like she needed to, like, over explain so much. And it's like, you don't have to do that. Like, you really don't, you don't need to do all that. Okay. Sorry. I was trying to see if but no, like, she's acting like she's on, like, the Wendy Williams show and needing to over explain herself over and over and over again. Didn't Courtney turn Milo to straight? Why are we talking about Milo anyway? Who that was, like, I mentioned his name like 100 years ago. She's treating it like it was a job interview, talking herself up. Well, like, she was treating it as though, like, it was like some type of media spot, and because she kept mentioning how, like, people get information wrong and people don't understand this. Like, it was as if, like, oh my God, somebody's gonna write this article and then all this misinformation is gonna get out because they're gonna misunderstand everything that I say. But, like, that's not what this is, dude. That's not what this is. This is a deposition in a court case that you started. You are the plaintiff, ma'am. And that was like another thing. Like they were talking about, you know, you're a free speech absolutist. Like, what does that mean? Okay. And immediately before they could even like catch her in a gotcha, I'd be like, okay, so if you're a free speech absolutist, why would you be suing somebody for saying that you slept with the president, right? She didn't even let them get to that part. Like she was immediately like guilt, and was like, I am a free speech warrior, and but you know what? And they don't have the right to do this because of this. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't mean like there's all this other stuff. Like she was over explaining herself in a situation where it's just like, yeah, if you understand like what like freedom of speech really means, you would understand like how people can still sue when it comes to like defamation and stuff. Because if she did lose her chance at getting a job at the White House because of this, because of Bill Maher saying that she slept with the president, that's a big deal. And she lost income because of it. So she can sue for that. It's not necessarily the defamation part, it's the lost funds in it. That's a part of it. The money that she lost because she lost her job, missed out on a job opportunity because of something that was said about her. Yeah, you can sue for that. So it's not necessarily the defamation that's the problem. It's the lost money because of the words that were being said. Freedom of speech and defamation are two different things. Right. Well, because the defamation part, it's not the words that are being said, it's the outcome of the words being said. Yeah, damages and lost income. Right. And that's where the defamation is. Like if your reputation is ruined and you start losing money, then yeah, you can sue for that. But if you just said it's like a naughty no word or whatever, like whatever. Courtney, what about divorce court? I don't know what that has to do with anything or what that means, or what that is in reference to. Libel and slander. Well, libel and slander are also like the same thing. It's like defamation, libel, and slander are all like different forms. Because I think libel is if it's like in written form. So libel would be like if you're like tweeting about something, and then I think defamation is when it's like said, you know, on a TV show or whatever. And slander, I don't really know. But you like if somebody said something and it hurt your fifis, you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to sue you for that. Or fire back like what author Nora Roberts does when people try to accuse her of plagiarism. I don't know what she does. But yes. Yeah, like people try to accuse an author of plagiarism. If you lose book sales because of it, then yeah. But like if you're just mad because people are accusing you of plagiarism, like you can't just like sue because this said that I was plagiarizing. Well, okay, who cares? So what? Yeah, she's treating this like in such a bizarre manner. I think she's very traumatized by like what happened. Honestly, I think this is showing like a sign of trauma where like she is really rattled by like things that were said. And even if there was like, even if she didn't lose a job, right? Like everything else that came with it, like her trying to stick up for herself and people continuing to attack her and all that stuff. Like, I think that she's actually like feeling really traumatized and is trying to over explain everything because she's like really frustrated with the information that's out there. Defamation is supposed to be a false statement. So if it's true, it's libel or slander, depending on, like you said, on the form it was done. Okay. So Defamation is when you're lying about people. Libel, slander is when you're okay. Gotcha. Slander is a false oral statement that harms another person's reputation or standing in the community. Oh, well. Nora Roberts is a famous author. Oh, I know that. I just don't know what you mean by her firing back. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what she did. I think the person has to knowingly know. Yes, I knowingly know all the time that their statement is false, but they say it anyway. Slander. Okay. I'll look it up and see what the difference is. Oh. Ugh. Defamation extends to dignity and honor. Slander is the action. Libel is a published statement. All right, I'm confused. I don't understand anything anymore. So all I know is Laura Loomer needs to shut up. She is not like, I don't think she needs to be silenced, but she needs to shut up in this deposition, which I'm of the belief that she did not, considering we still have like 180 some odd pages left. Nora has an awesome blog post defending herself against someone who claimed plagiarism of a title. Oh, dude, you can't plagiarize a title, which isn't protected by copyright. It isn't. Yeah, no, you can't plagiarize a title. You can like every single author out there right now can name all of their books that are coming out the exact same title, and none of them could. They can all just have that book title. Yeah, so take that, dum-dums that say that she plagiarized a book title. All right, I'm gonna go. I don't really know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna go. I'm tired, and honestly, dude, Laura Loomer's deposition wore me out today. Wait, so I can name my book Babbling Courtney Brooke? I guess so. Oh, cramp. Ow! Okay. Well, hopefully Viking doesn't do that. But he can if he wants to, I guess. All right, I'm about to fall asleep. It's like early over here too. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm very worn out. Laura Loomer's freaking deposition was insane. It kept going. Also, it kept going from like really boring to really exciting. It was like such a roller coaster. It was wild. I fell for this before. I'm not saying goodbye again. Wait, did I say I was gonna go? Oops. Sorry. I'll stick with naming it Mein Kampf. I like that. All right. It's a good title. Very strong. Okay. I'm gonna get out of here. I gotta go. I just have so many more things to say about that right now, but my brain is so fried. I think it's just gonna come out like just word salad. Absolute nonsense. So I'm gonna head out. We have more to come tomorrow, so stay tuned. And in the meantime, nobody likes to do Trust Falls Alone. All right, bye. I guess that just means we're having to do this again. Oh no.
The night is coming to an end. Stars are fading, lights descend. Thank you for this time we spent. Memories shared, hearts will mend. We had such a great time here. Laughter, love, and moments dear. Every smile, every cheer. Now it's time to disappear. Oh, I will miss you till we meet. dancing tonight. Hold these moments nice and tight. In my dreams you'll shine so bright. Every goodbye leaves a trace of a night we can't replace. Take care in every space. Till next time we will embrace. Oh, embrace. I will miss you till we meet again. Take care, my friend, my heart will tend. Until the day we start anew. Forever hold on nights to you. Trace of a night we can't replace. Take care in every space. Till next time we will embrace. Oh, I will miss you till we meet again.